I met Pat back in, I think it was 1983. We met at church at Christ the Good Shepherd in Spring. And my first wife is deceased, and she was a divorcee. And when we met, I had 2 children, 2 girls, and she had 3 children. We were married in May of 1985. Joseph was born in May of 1986. So that's in our son. So it was a yours, mine, and ours situation. She didn't much like me at first. I think she thought I was sort of a wise guy, and I probably was. We had met at a joint party it was one of her friends, and I knew him casually, but I was invited to the party as well. So we started talking, and I asked her out, and she decided that she'd give me a try. The diagnosis for Pat was August of 2012. And it was obviously heart-wrenching for both of us. At that point in time when the diagnosis was made, she was a math professor at the Lone Star College system here in Tomball. So she had, because of her disease, she was forced into retirement. She had enough time that she was able to retire with full benefits, which is really a blessing from that perspective. So the family has all participated. The family has been really great, supportive of pretty much everything that Pat and I have decided that how we wanted to progress, knowing what the disease is. It's unfortunate the disease has progressed faster than we had hoped. I guess it was a growing experience certainly for me. To learn how to deal with these various stages, and you could never know really what was going on in her mind. So it was a lot of it was a guessing game, and eventually it came to the point where you would never ask a question: do you want to do this or that? Do you like this or do you like that? Because the reality is, at least now, and it's been this way for the last year, it's really gotten pretty severe. She just doesn't know. And I think for me, the logistics is not hard. The hardest part is trying to determine what's going on in her mind, and you just can't do that. I mean, I'm not able to do that, and I don't think anybody is. I had to make a decision, which was difficult, because I've been her primary caretaker for all of those 5 years preceding this past year since she's been in the memory care unit. And it was starting to wear on me. It was where I couldn't be as loving as I really wanted to be. So I said I needed space. So from a care perspective, it's a whole lot easier. You don't have to guess what's going on and how to make your loved one happy, because you just never know whether you're doing right or not. I decided, and I thought that it would have been much better to put her in a facility where they had activities that she could participate in with people that were cognitively at her level, a little bit better, a little bit worse. I mean, they're all at different places. Does it get lonely? Yeah, it gets lonely at times. And going to bed at night is probably the hardest part of the time. You just go to bed alone. With the advantage is that I get my space, and she theoretically has a place that she can become familiar with and accept as her home. Part of it was selfish, and part of it was, altruistic, in that I wanted her to have more than I could give her. Caretakers, their first responsibility is to they have to take care of themselves first. Because if they don't take care of yourselves, then you're sort of useless for the person that you're taking care of. So I've always been physically active, and that's the way, I don't know if it's endorphins or what, but I feel better when I exercise and when I do things like that. I think that's what gets me out of my guilt feelings.